Hey, loan officers. I have Corey Meredith, who is the VP of Marketing at U Mortgage, and excited to have her on this episode. Corey, for the loan officers that are listening or watching, why should they tune into this episode?
Hey, Devin, I'm so honored to be here. So, thank you very much for asking me. For the loan officers that are watching right now, you should listen because you want to learn. I think that's the biggest piece of not only this industry, but all industries is staying curious, especially as we're in an ever changing world with the introduction of AI, the hottest topic on the planet, with just overall like a lot of mindset. There's, especially in sales, there's this curve of business inconsistencies and so being able to provide some insights into ways that you can continue to grow your business and stay consistent with your business, especially maybe if you're in a down market right now or if you're feeling any sort of outside pressures, this is a perfect opportunity to get back in the game, try something a little bit new, and continue to evolve your business. So, looking forward to our conversation.
Awesome. And I'm really excited to ask these questions. I haven't had a lot of marketing like people on this podcast. So I'm excited for loan officers to learn. So being the VP of marketing, when you're teaching loan officers or helping loan officers to partner up with new agents or stay in front of their current agents, what are some ways loan officers can provide value through marketing for agents without giving like leads or loans?
Yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, even at U Mortgage, I work a lot with newer to originating loan originators. And so we have an entire sales development cohort, and we've developed a playbook for that cohort that we teach. And it's all centered around the open house. And I think that this is a very common question and also pain point for people that are just getting started. They don't have a network to leverage, they don't have business coming in. And so it's like, how do I start? Like, where do I go? And how do I build my book of business? And we have found the most success by going to where the business is. And it sounds very simple, but that's kind of the beauty of this business is it's not extremely difficult, but it's not easy either. So simple cannot always it's not always easy. And so my suggestion and what we've seen success in is going to the open houses. And part of this is a playbook, right? So you want to go and you want to pop in first. You want to get familiar with open houses. You want to start getting your name out there in the market, especially your local market, to start introducing yourself to agents. And what you're going to find is a lot of newer agents. And I think that that's perfect because going up to really experienced agents when you're newer to the business is they may not necessarily work with you. You still have a lot to learn, and you can always go in with curiosity and I want to learn from you mentality, but it's also really good to develop partnerships from the beginning of your careers because you have so much opportunity to grow together and build your businesses together. So we encourage our loan officers to go to pop in open houses on the weekend, and then during the week follow up with those agents that you met. Send them a text after you leave that open house, something very simple of wishing them, luck with the rest of the open house, and then you plant the seed for that follow up during the week when you're at that open house. So when you call the agent on a Monday or a Tuesday, now you have something to connect with. You remind them, hey, I met you at open house in city this past weekend. How did it go? And you lead with curiosity. You see how much foot traffic was there, what their experience was at the open house, and then you take it to the next level. And the next level there is investing your time. And I know we're going to talk about a little bit of the differentiator and how you can win agents over, but time is an invaluable resource that we all have, but we all have not an infinite number of. So it's, how are we going to invest our time in the relationships that matter? And if you really want to make a partnership work, investing your time by sponsoring or co-sponsoring an open house with an agent is a really fantastic way to do that because you're offering support, you're offering value right off the bat before asking for anything. It's way too common that loan officers will go up to agents, they'll meet them, and then they'll say, hey, I'll take you out for coffee, now send me a lead. Well, what did you give the agent besides a free $4 coffee? Like, not much. You have to offer something more because let's be honest, we're all selling the same product at the end of the day. So you have to have a little bit of a differentiator.
Well, then I think too, even for the more experienced loan officers, I see them less and less going to open houses. So as like a new loan originator, the chances are slim, but you could be a new partner for real estate agents that are experienced. But I agree with you. Go
Right.
with the newer agents because the top producers that I know, they've known these agents for 10, 20 years. They built relationships with. So you got to start somewhere and just be consistent. So I love that. This question with new about newer loan officers, since we're on that subject, I see a lot of loan officers, they get overwhelmed about all the marketing things that they can do that they do nothing. Like, I need to set up my
Yeah.
social media. I need to set up a Google My Business. How am I ranking on AI? What would you recommend the first thing a loan officer does when they're starting to market themselves online?
Keep it simple, stupid. I mean, KISS is an acronym that you can use for everything. The first thing I would do is Google myself. So, what actually pops up when I do Google myself? Start there. I think a lot of the times what you're going to find is your social media profiles will pop up. LinkedIn is pretty high in search, Facebook is pretty high in search. I would prioritize those social media channels because they are going to be really important to not only your credibility when people and agents do search you in the future, but also it's part of your prospecting. After you do meet an agent at an open house, you should be 1000% adding them as a friend on social media because that's your nurture. You're definitely going to want to call them and follow up with them and email them and do all this stuff, but you're creating a much more scalable, authentic process when you're connecting with them on social media and you're just sharing what you do on a daily basis. You're sharing your subject matter expertise in a specific loan product or just, the mortgage industry in general. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that your cover photo is all set, showcasing what you offer. You want to make sure that your profile picture isn't something from 15 years ago and that brings you your best self. And you're going to want to make sure that your bio or about you is set up to show who you serve, the areas that you serve. And then if you have any links to your website, or a lot of companies offer a digital business card, if I would start there. You don't want to spend too much money when you're just getting started because it's obviously a commission based role. So utilizes the resources that are available to you and just make sure that your presence and your profile is clean. It's easy to find you and it's easy to understand what you do as a profession.
Well, then I think too this really goes hand in hand with my next question. I see a lot of I highly recommend loan officers do video, even if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
terrible in the beginning. And I see loan officers freeze from time to time and they don't do the videos. But there's really not a better time. And here's my opinion on it. You may agree or not agree with this, but I've been in business 10 years. This was before video was even a thing. So we had these video edits where it's just subtitles and it worked well, right? Then during COVID, you kind of saw those crazy edits with like the B-roll footage, the AI
Yeah.
edits, like lots going on. This is my opinion, but I feel like we're back at the point where we have like that curve of like it's, just things change, where we're back to just the subtitles and the authenticity. Because when you see a video with the B-roll footage, the graphics and everything, it kind of feels like an ad, like your borrowers and your agents know that.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's not a better time to record your video, but I'd love your thoughts on how edited should your videos be, how to get started recording video, and why video is important in the first place.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it's kind of like fashion, like it will always come back around at some point in time. So who knows? There will probably be a world where those edited videos and B-roll and flashy transitions are cool again. But I agree with you. Right now, again, simple is best. I think that a lot of loan officers and just people in general are chronic overthinkers. So they think they need the best camera and the amazing studio and just to get started. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Especially in the day and age that we live today, everyone has a pretty good cell phone. If you're an Android user or an iPhone user, whatever it is, I prefer an iPhone, but the camera quality has never been better. And that's what you find is that people just resonate more with that raw, again, authentic look and feel. They want to feel like this is especially true for TikTok, but they want to feel like they're on FaceTime with you. So just catching up, seeing what the inside scoop is. You don't want to be too scripted. You don't want to sound too robotic and you don't want to feel like you're in a space that's not relatable because people like connecting with people. So the more that you can just show up as yourself, the better. So my suggestion to get started is just take your phone, do like a selfie style video. If you have, a tripod, you can buy one on Amazon for like 15 bucks. You could do that too, but don't overthink it because like you said too, usually when you start, they're not the best videos you're ever going to make. So just get started is the biggest thing is, progress over perfection every single time. I'm a huge advocate of that. But the reason that video matters so much too, another question that you asked, is because you can start to connect with people. You understand how they carry themselves. You understand what they sound like, what they look like. And you can kind of use it to your advantage as well. I know a lot of loan officers that kind of use it almost as like a resource guide as a resume or a resume. They'll answer a lot of FAQs in video style. And so if one of their borrowers or even if an agent has a question about a specific program or guideline or something of that nature, they'll just send them the video link and be like, here, I explained it here. So you can use it over and over again. But more than anything, it provides connection, especially in this digital world that we have. In person is still the number one relationship builder of all time. But when you're working with, especially if you're licensed in multiple different states and you can't be or meet every single client in person or agent in person, that is a way to build that relationship and allow them to get to know you on a deeper level as a person.
I love that. And just a couple more questions. And also with going back to like the basic of video, one of my loan officers that I help, she recorded a video on her front porch and she landed a $10 million deal with
Heck
a
yeah.
builder. And like she just recorded on her front porch. It was like one of her first videos and like keep it super simple. So if video's holding you back, listen to what Corey's saying, like keep it simple. But also just to help loan officers with their marketing or business in general, do you have like a book or a podcast or anything that you'd recommend a loan officer could go and just like listen to or read to get their business started?
Yeah, I'm a huge advocate of 2 books. The one being, The 12-Week Year. This is a great, book to learn a system. So, it's kind of like quarterly planning, if you will, but it really holds you accountable to staying dedicated to a 12-week year. So, I actually did this workshop yesterday with our sales group, but we did sales math, and we just looked at, okay, what's our goal income, and then worked backwards from there, and that's how you stay consistent. The one thing with sales is that oftentimes, especially when you're just getting started, the results are really slow. So it's not instant gratification that we're so used to in this world. And so you have to create a plan where you can stay consistent, even if the results aren't coming in immediately, because it's going to take some time. And so I think that's a really key thing is like, how can you develop a plan for yourself that feels doable for you? So it's all based off of your comfort level. Yes, you want to have some push goals and some stretch goals here and there, but you want to make sure that what you're saying you're going to do, you actually stick to doing. So maybe that's making 5 calls a day. Maybe that's making 10 calls a day. We have a loan officer, her number is 12. And I'm like, that sounds so random, but if it works for you and you can stay consistent with 12, then that's amazing. Do 12. So the 12-week year is one. I think that's a really great structure that loan officers can utilize, really any business professional can utilize to have a goal and to create action plans leading up to that goal. The second one is a book called Slight Edge. And the biggest principle here is it's easy to do and it's easy not to do. And I think that's such a great call out because think of that 12th call. 11 calls on the day, that sounds great. It's pretty easy to make that 12th call. It's really easy just to close your laptop and say, I'm going to go home for the rest of the day. But that one call could be the difference of your next referral. And so it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. Just having that mindset of the slight edge is what makes winners. I mean, we just watched the Olympics. Like you could see it in a lot of the results there. It's like quarters of a second, like even less than that, like point 0.1 of a second that determines gold and silver or podium, no podium. And so it's again, just that mentality of like, push yourself. Can you just push yourself a little bit harder? Like it's easy to get up and go for a walk, but it's also easy to sit on the couch. Like, what are you going to decide?
Yeah, I love both those books. I love. And then just one more question. If people want to connect with you, learn more about you, where's the best place to find you online?
LinkedIn is an easy place, just at Corey Meredith. I'm pretty active on there or Facebook. You can find me on either one of those, but would definitely love to connect with you guys on LinkedIn. Feel free to message me. I'm an open book as always. Devin, this was really fun.
No, seriously, thanks, Corey. I think I need to get more marketing people on here because I relate a lot more. So I appreciate you hopping on, Corey.